Anyway, moving on. Humberto, Brazil bans X. Great.
This segment is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Just joking. Yeah. No, it's not actually. But if you want to send me money, I take it. I'd be happy to take money. Okay, taking it off screen. They're not paying for this.
Yeah.
All right. Brazilian full body ban.
Nice.
I know. I'm on fire today.
Love it.
So instead of like talking about my favorite things about Brazil, like this lady right here drinking a beautiful caipirinha in a in a great beach in Brazil.
Can we show that?
Yeah, let's show this.
Is that AI or is that a real woman?
I don't even know anymore.
Let me see. No, she looks real.
She has the right fingers. Normally they have six fingers.
I don't even know. But that's what I should be talking about. But instead of that, I need to talk about this guy. Come on, Connor.
Which guy?
Hit it.
Come on, hit it.
Hit it. This guy.
Look at that view.
Straight out of a horror movie. This
Straight
guy
out of a
eats your
horror
face
movie.
after you see it.
Like this Darth Vader looking motherfucker. I don't know. But he's going crazy. And they're calling him like a conservative judge. Yeah, sure. Basically, this guy right here, he got in trouble with my boy Elon Musk.
What's his name?
De Moraes.
Is the Alexandre de Moraes.
De Moraes.
I got the pronunciation right, nice. And he ordered to ban X in Brazil because of misinformation, disinformation. There are two different things. Right-wing posts, they call it far-right posts, and doxing of police and other officials, okay? So basically what he wanted to do is to grab someone from Twitter. Okay, this is how the whole court case came around. He wanted to have a representative from Twitter jailed. And Elon was like, hell no, you're not going to jail one of my guys. So they stopped operations there and they got everyone out.
Okay.
And as, they couldn't jail someone, straight to jail for having the platform running there, they decided to ban it. Okay. So, this obviously, and that's why I did the whole ExpressVPN joke. Yeah. This made everyone, start buying VPN. Like, mind you, X is one of the most popular platforms in Brazil. There's 22 million Brazilian users using the platform.
What does VPN do? Because I know the term, but I don't actually know what the actual software does.
Well, the software, basically, like, I'm accessing something. Okay, let's say I'm looking for Bad Baby's OnlyFans account.
Okay.
And I don't want my internet provider to know that I'm doing that hideous act, okay? So it will mask your IP address, so it creates a tunnel, on the internet. So basically, anyone from outside, they just see traffic going back and forth, and it will mask whatever you're doing.
So you can still access it from your computer, but nobody's going to be able to track that you're accessing.
It's a computer on your computer from a different country specifically. So, for example, like the IP of that the people in Brazil are using is probably from the United States, which is therefore allowing them onto the platform.
It has a bunch of benefits. Like, I grew up with a very heavy firewall because I grew up in the Middle East, and there, for example, in the country I grew up with, like, porn is banned. Outright banned. You can't access porn.
You have to go off imagination.
And I was a teenager in that time.
National Geographic magazine.
I don't know if this crime will if this crime will prescribe. I was a very horny teenager in that time, and
nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed.
I don't know how to describe this.
I think the stereotypical joke is the Sears catalog over the Nat Geo, but
like
we didn't even
like you would look at camels and you'd be like,
next.
Like, how banned was it though? Like, magazines, like VHS, there was no porn nowhere.
No porn whatsoever, no suggestive content whatsoever. Like, if you went on to like xsomething.com, I'm not going to make any more free promotions. You go there and it will come up the ISP, like the internet service provider, go like, this content is blocked in the UAE. That's what it is.
Okay. Wow.
So a lot of people in countries that ban, like certain information like China or like porn or like certain platforms, they will access VPNs. Now, these people not only banned Twitter, they also passed a law to ban the VPNs. So for every time they catch you using a VPN, they're talking about a fine between $8,000 and $16,000.
Jeez.
Wow. Mind you that the GDP of Brazil is around $8,000. So basically, they're charging you whatever the average Brazilian makes for using a VPN.
Oh, wow.
Now, on the other hand, Elon Musk doesn't only own Twitter, he also owns,
Starlink.
So that put the Brazilian government in a bind because it's really hard to ban things. Like if you think about maximum security prisons, they still get drugs in there.
Oh, knives,
Cigarettes, trannies, whatever it is.
Well,
No, I've seen they have drones where people will operate the drones and fly the drones over the walls, and then they'll drop like weed and stuff to the guys.
So you can't really ban anything. So they saw themselves in a bind. Like, this guy is the owner of X. We want to ban X, but this guy also has internet that we cannot ban. I mean, they're trying to work out how to ban payment processes, but they can't shoot satellites out of the sky. Maybe they can.
Yeah, you never know.
And if we go to the next news story, apparently after this came to light, Elon, he is backing down. This came in this morning. He's backing down from actually using Starlink, that it has unbanned the X service. Because ISP, this is why VPNs are important. ISPs, they can ban certain content. And this is a big problem because they do it all the time. Sometimes they outright ban some content, and sometimes they throttle some content.
So right now, X is banned. Like, you can't be on X in Brazil?
You can't be on X.
Did they say how long it's going to go for?
They will go as long as X complies to the request.
He's not going to.
So
people in Brazil are screwed.
I don't know if he's not going to. Until last night, I thought he was gonna, diamond hand and stay strong on this. But him backing down from the Starlink.
There were massive protests in the street, right? I'm not mistaken about that. I'm trying to find images now, but now I don't know if what I thought I saw of news of protests in the street was actually like recycled images from the Bolsonaro protests.
I also did the search for it, and most of them was I was kind of involved in the Brazilian protests after they allegedly stole the election from Jair Bolsonaro. Those were the massive protests, and most images and videos that I saw, they were from 2020, 2022. So they're not from now.
Okay.
And funny how you say that. Well, this is the current president of Brazil, Lula da Silva. So you guys need to know that this banning is not just Brazil. Like, if they could get away, and they've done in the United States, like if you remember the Hunter Biden laptop.
Yeah.
That got banned everywhere, and recently, Mark Zuckerberg came clean that the agencies came to him and they were like, "Hey, you need to ban this. You need to delete this."
Yeah. You mean election cheating?
I won't say cheating.
What election interference? You interfered with people getting information that could sway their vote, that is by definition cheating, and they helped them win. And by the way, the reason that he wrote that letter is because Trump might win, and Trump's going to hold all these scumbags accountable. By the way, talking about child sexual exploitation, Mark Zuckerberg's been in freaking Congress this year because they're accessing people get access to child sexual images. I don't even want to say the bad word.
There was literally on Instagram, they found a bunch of accounts that were essentially created. These young girls, they look like mostly like young European girls, where literally this was a breeding ground, a meeting ground for different predators across Instagram to come. And within the comments, you can see them using the code words to make different orders, whether that be for pictures, to exchange content with other pedophiles on the platform, and even to meet with a child. This was all uncovered on that platform, and no repercussions for Mark Zuckerberg.
Was it reminiscent of that email with Podesta about the handkerchief with a map on it after they had eaten cheese pizza? And
by the way,
do you want our
hot
handkerchief
dogs?
back?
Yeah, by the way, nothing to see here. It's normal to have hundreds of pizzas delivered to the White House at 4 a.m. But go ahead, Rob, what were you going to say?
Well, I just wanted to give back to the Hunter Biden, the actual definition of election interference generally refers to efforts to change the outcome of an election.
AKA cheating. You're cheating.
suppressing-
And that 8 in 10 people say that they believe that the Hunter Biden cover-up impacted the results of the 2020 election. So 80% of people that were polled, that doesn't mean that 80% of people would have voted differently, but 80% of people believe that the outcome of the election was affected by that.
Go ahead.
I won't say it, but you might be onto something because I
Weird.
want to go back to Brazil one day because the beaches are beautiful.
Yeah.
The women are beautiful, great weather, but it is what it is. And now here there's 3 big lessons that that we need to learn here in America. First of all, if they can get away with like banning and censoring, they will do it. In Brazil, what happened, and this is the second lesson, like they're ruling the country by their
Legislation.
Well, the judicial branch.
the judicial branch. And that's what they want to do here. Because once the judicial branch, and this happens in a lot of like South American countries, that they pack the court and then they rule by decree. They do whatever they freaking want. And this guy's been doing whatever he wants for years, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the first lesson. They will ban anything. Second lesson, if you let these guys take over, you know, justice, you're cooked. And the third thing is that they're all into this. Like in the previous picture, you can see that you had Kerry, you had Biden, you had Bernie Sanders, all meeting with Lula, who's a criminal. He was literally a criminal. He was literally in jail. But everyone was supporting him to get to the presidency because he wasn't Jair Bolsonaro. These people are willing to go out of their way to ban the far right, but they won't do anything about child predators. So just to put it in perspective.
FYI.
And this is a beautiful image after the Brazilian election. This is one of the biggest protests in the history of the world when they got robbed by the Brazilian electors. And this is what they're trying to ban.
Can you show that? Show this video?
This is what they're trying to ban. They're trying to ban people that are becoming aware of how hard they're getting.
But you know, I love this. The people need to understand that the power lies within them, not in the government, not in anything. It's we, the people. No matter who you are, no matter what country you're from, if we bind together, look at that, bro. Look at that. Look at the forces. I'm telling you right now, that is a force to be reckoned with. They're not armed. They're just, it's numbers freaking scream, bro. And like, you look at that, dude. Are you kidding me?
It's huge.
But where do you think these people are learning this information to then gather together in the first place? Like, I'm sure
Telegram.
Telegram, one, and then we've seen the attack on that. X, for sure, like Rob said in the last episode, X is like one of the lost bastions of free speech that we even have in the United States. And we have a First Amendment codifying that actual right. Like, how do you think it is for people in these countries that don't have any such amendment?
Well, we gotta shout out Rumble as well, because they came after Rumble before they went after Telegram, and they had to withdraw their activities from France. They had to withdraw their activities from Brazil because these demands were being made of Rumble. But you know, Rumble doesn't have the user base or the star power of Musk. So when they say we're going to ban Twitter or X in Brazil, then you get some pushback from the civilian population. Rumble was not yet there, but this war has been going on for a while, and Rumble has been fighting it. Twitter is now all in, because if Kamala gets elected, we'll talk about this in my segment, but they're bringing that commie crap to America.
May I plug something real quick?
Plug it, Rob.
May 10th of 2024, the PBD podcast did an episode. It was called Brazil Uncensored. It featured Patrick and 3 very prominent Brazilian politicians, including Bolsonaro's son.
Yep.
It's actually, if you go on Twitter or X and search Brazil corruption, it brings up the entire episode. And in the episode, we talk about how do you pronounce it? Alexandre
de Moraes.
Yes.
Nice.
We like a deep dive with 3 guys who are political refugees.
Yeah,
they're
being prosecuted.
fleeing Brazil from this guy. And this is 5 months ago, 4 months ago.
Yeah, a couple months
4
ago.
months ago, and this is before the X ban. But Pat really gets into the censorship and what's going on in the totalitarian regime that is currently in place in Brazil. So if you want a deeper dive, go watch it. It's on the PBD podcast channel. It's also on X. Just search Brazilian corruption.
Got you.
But the thing is, as a fellow South American, like my country is like right next to it. Like, it's like having China next to you. Like, this is so insane that they're banning social media, they're banning speech, and they have a criminal as president. But Brazilian people, they're great people. They're strong. Shout out to our IT guy.
Oh, Esdras.
Best guy.
Best guy.
I love that guy. And he actually texted me this story. So we're doing it justice right now.
Oh, yeah, and dude, and I hope, because, dude, like, and Amy, I think you nailed it. Like, free speech, how do these people, obviously they're going to find different avenues, but Elon Musk gave us, spent and lost. I think the report came out. They lost in the transition, the acquisition, $34 billion loss just to give us the platform that we could talk and say and see whatever the hell we want. Good, the bad, and the ugly.
And shout out to Rumble, too.
Value plunged 72%. It was $24 billion, but 72% he lost on the purchase of
It was Steve Bannon who said it, that Elon Musk didn't buy a company, he bought a crime scene, and it's been laid bare for everyone to see. But
wow. Okay. All right. Great story, Humberto.